Welcome to another episode of Humble Beginnings, Great Expectations. We are at Sterling Cigar in the Humidor room. We are about to interview Calvin Darville and Comfortable Closings. He's got a lot of gems about to drop on you. Don't forget to subscribe. Follow me.
Be humble. Be humble. Turn down. Turn down. Be humble. Be humble. Turn down. Turn down. Be humble. Be humble. Turn down. Turn down. Be humble. Be humble. Turn down.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Humble Beginnings, Great Expectations, the show that focuses on an entrepreneur's journey from bottom to breakthrough. I'm your host, Jeremy Johnson. I'm the owner of a real estate company, 7J Finance, Commercial and Consulting. And today we have a real estate story with the president of Comfortable Closings, Mr. Calvin Darville.
That's gonna be a dog.
My God.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for your time today, Calvin.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man. I've been really, watching your story and knew you were going to be a perfect candidate for an episode, man. So again, I appreciate your time. Let's get right into it.
Yes, sir.
Humble beginnings, man. What inspired you to start and run your own business?
Well, originally I'm from South Florida. I played ball my entire life. So business wasn't even on my radar, honestly. Played football my entire life. And then I ended up going to Florida A&M to play football there. And I was trying to go to the NFL. So going into my senior year, the first season, the Rams were there to see me play. You know, had a couple teams coming out, scouting me and everything. Going into that first game, I ended up tearing my Achilles in my senior season.
Damn.
Yeah, so I ripped my Achilles in half. So I still ended up graduating college, and, I'm in a dark place, because I don't know if you play sports, did you?
A little bit.
Yeah. So, like, when you play sports, it's like your identity.
Yeah.
You like, man, like, this is what I'm going to do.
Fact.
You feel me? So from literally since I can remember all the way up until that point, like, football was my thing.
Yeah.
You feel me? And I never thought that I was going to get hurt. That wasn't even on my radar. I mean, maybe a nick and knack or whatever, but nothing that's going to be like a career-ending injury. That, like, literally didn't even cross my mind.
Facts.
So I'm all in on this plan A, and then plan A get ripped from me.
Yeah.
So I graduate, and I'm like, okay, like, what do I do now? I literally have no clue at all. So I start working like side jobs. I'm working at Best Buy. I'm working a construction job, literally making $9 an hour, making $11 an hour. You got people in the store like bragging because they make a quarter more or they get a raise. They're like, man, I went from $11.25 to $11.50.
Yeah.
You got people in the store bragging about that. And there's people who working there for like 10, 15 years, I'm like, man, like, this ain't for me. Like, I'm not trying, like, no knock on them, but I'm not trying to be working here for next 15 years of my life. So I ended up finding out about real estate wholesaling. When I was working my construction job, I'm on break and I go on YouTube and I find out about real estate wholesaling. So I start wholesaling for a year. I don't make no money at all, but I learned about this whole different avenue, this whole different world, real estate investment.
Yeah.
Which I never, ever heard about. I've never heard about real estate, never heard about sales, marketing, none of this type of stuff, So I get into wholesaling, I do that for a year. And when I'm out looking for property, I'm always listening to podcasts. And this podcast comes on about the mobile closing industry and like being a notary and how you can scale it from being an individual notary to where you contract to work out. And I'm like, I'm going to do this. I'm still in Tallahassee at this point. So I end up, the guy who was on the podcast, he was offering a course. Take the guy's course. And then I moved down to here, to Tampa, and we just go live on the business. And I go from being an individual notary, I get it to where I'm doing 100 closings a month, and then we scale out the business. Now we just did 2,100 closings last month.
That's major.
Yeah.
That's major.
Yeah.
So before there was business, there was sport. And you had the mindset of an athlete, right?
Yeah.
So everything you approached, I assume, because it was your first love, your first thing that you put your mind to achieve and get better at.
Yeah.
How was the transition from athlete identity-wise to business person, leader, real estate professional? How did that transition go for you?
Yeah, the identity, it wasn't too hard because, in my opinion, a successful franchise or a successful sports team is run just like a successful business. Feel me? You got the head coach and he's setting the standard. There has to be discipline, there has to be accountability, there has to be work ethic, there has to be a whole bunch of things. in order for this team to be successful. I'm already used to this type of environment. You know, I'm used to having to work hard. I'm used to having to watch film. So now I'm not watching film on football games. I'm watching, you know, film on my service.
Right.
How to get better at my craft, how to get better at these things. So the implementation for me, it was essentially the same thing, just taking those things that I learned from football and then dumping it into this arena of business. And I say one thing that like really hit me, bro, like that I remember vividly when I was in college and I had got done with sports was the commitment piece. You know, like I was so committed to football, like the energy, like, bro, I was like 175 pounds soaking wet coming out of high school. I went from 175 to 250 in 4 years.
Good Lord.
I played defensive end. So I'm coming in 170 playing defensive end. I'm 6'3". I'm like a beanpole. I'm like, I got to put some weight on.
Facts.
Feel me? But I'm like, bro, I'm going to commit to the weight room. I'm going to do whatever it takes. And I did that. You know, I went from 170 to 250. So I'm like, man, like, bro, if I just take this same level of commitment that I have for sports and put this into business, like the sky's the limit. It's the same thing.
Was the mindset switch from athlete to businessman harder for you or the people around you?
Probably the people around me for sure. Even to this day, it's like, man, I'm seasoned now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 6 years in the game. I still got, you know, people trying to tell me what to do that's close to me. I would say them, but you know, you do have that identity crisis or whatever. But you know, when you have some wins, you know, some successes, you get over that. You know, like even on the field, bro, it's like when you a rookie, you know, you catch a few balls, you're like, oh, I can do this thing.
Right.
You feel me?
Absolutely.
You know, like, same thing in business. You get a couple deals, you're like, I can really do this. You know, so the more seasons you in it, the more confident you become in yourself.
And confidence is everything, man. Like, you know, that super ego, the id, super ego part of, you know, of the Freudian philosophy enables you to do things that, you know, the normal you don't think you can do. Right. So to be able to harness that and go into something that's new to you enables you to overcome those mental obstacles. Right. So, you know, for you, when you're an athlete, you kind of pursue things with a level of intensity, right? And competition. How did you bring that from the field to the boardroom?
The level of intensity, I mean, bro, it was really just a commitment. I just brought that same commitment, that same enthusiasm that I have for sports. I brought that to business. I mean, I'm not opposed to staying up late. You know, it's not hard for me. I mean, discipline is hard in a sense, but like I understand how important those things are already. You know, like a lot of people talk about they want things, but they don't really want it. You feel me? Because if you wanted it, you would do it.
Facts.
You feel me? It was a lot of people I played ball with that said they want to make it to the league, but they actions show otherwise. You know, they would play around in the weight room. You know, they hanging out late. You know, they more worried about chasing women than, you know, actually getting it in. For me, it's just like, if I'm going to talk about it, I have to do it. I have to embody that, you know, like, I just see a lot of people, like even now in business, like, oh man, like, or they complain about the market, but it's like, bro, you're not even putting in the work. You feel me?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, like you got to put in the work,
yeah,
and then talk about the market.
Yeah.
Put in the work.
Yeah. Now, does that mentality ever prevent you from collaborating with people in business?
Oh yeah.
You know, that's like that competition. Does that?
Well, not the competition, but I feel like sometimes I don't think it prevents me from collabing, but sometimes like I have a hard time seeing eye to eye with people because I'm like on this like more like I'm all about accountability, like self-accountability. Like I'm not gonna blame it on outside things.
Facts.
And like I feel like in real estate, like a lot of people want to blame it on things that are outside of their control. You know, so when I get around that, like I don't like being in those type of environments.
You just remove yourself.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be like, bro, well, okay, well, even if that is the situation, we gotta do something.
Yeah.
I mean, that's heavy in the Black community.
Okay.
You feel me?
Now you got
you don't blame everything on somebody else.
Correct.
But never be like, what the hell are we gonna do about it?
Yeah, absolutely. And so it takes that perspective to be able to kind of break the cycle of us not necessarily collaborating and maybe working together. Maybe that comes from the fact that, you know, most of us see it our only route of elevation being in, you know, the entertainment or athletic sphere. But when we come into business, there's a different level of competition and collaboration that needs to happen.
Yeah.
And if we're a little bit more open to collaborating in that sense, we may be able to get farther, because you get farther together in business than any team whatsoever. You get farther together as opposed to by yourself.
Yeah, facts.
How do you view, team and, also diversity in the workplace?
I think team is important. You got to have the right people on your team. When I look back on my team, like, I try to relate things to my experiences in life, and what was successful and what wasn't successful. Like, if I look back on the college team, we didn't have good leaders. The leadership started with the coaches, and then it trickles down to the athletes. They should have been pouring into us so that we could lead the team correctly. So when you don't got the coaches doing that, you ain't gonna have no leaders on that field. You ain't gonna have and then cancers are real. You gotta eliminate cancer immediately.
Yeah.
If you got cancer in the environment, that shit has to be cut off as fast as possible, because that shit gonna spread.
Absolutely.
So now, I got 10 people on staff. These aren't the notaries. The notaries are all contractors. So I got 10 people on staff. If I look at the staff, if I see a cancer, I got to eliminate it immediately, because that's going to bring the rest of the team down. If I got the rest of the team, man, we finna be number one. We going to do this. They coming out the gate. They working. They coming early, staying late. And you got one person moping the team down. That shit going to spread.
Absolutely. Can you tell us about the first year in business with Comfortable Closing, and a little bit about what Comfortable Closing specializes in?
The first year was just hustling.
Yeah, exactly.
Hustle. Yeah. Hustle muscle, man. It was 2019 was when I started, and it was Q4 when I started. So that was a perfect 3 months for me to kind of get founded and understand how things worked. And then after that, we went into 2020, and that year went crazy. And that was perfect for me.
Wow.
Because it was title companies literally closed their doors.
Yeah.
So no closings were happening at title. Everything had to be mobile, and nobody wanted to close anything. All the notaries were they were scared, rightfully so, because that's what the media was pumping out. But I was out there, bro. So the first year was, just hustle muscle, just, grinding, putting yourself out there, getting uncomfortable, learning how to communicate. That was the biggest thing. How do I position myself? Because I could be here and the next man could do the same thing as me. And we got a lead right here. Whoever can communicate the best is going to get that lead. So for me, it was coming out of the environment that I grew up in, and then trying to articulate myself, learning how to really articulate myself. And that's been the course of all the years, even to today, just trying to get better with that.
You're always perfecting that.
Yeah.
That's something
the most important thing, bro.
That's such
you look at the most successful people, they're always really, really good communicators.
Yeah.
Whether you like them or not, they can communicate.
Absolutely. Now, when you first started, you saw what you were getting into. You kind of found the playing field, and got used to, acclimated to the lay of the land. At what point was it that you said to yourself, what was that aha moment that was I can do this? I can build on this. I want to build something with this, with Comfortable Closings. Well, was there a moment that you could say that popped in your head?
I guess when them checks started, for real. Because when I first started it, I thought this is just gonna be my thing to fund wholesaling. Because wholesaling is all about marketing.
Yeah,
you gotta have the bread to market. They try to put it out there oh, you could be a wholesaler with no money, bro. You need money.
You need money.
You need money because you gotta market. You gotta be top of mind.
Yeah.
When someone is in a crisis and they want to get that home off, and the marketing dollars are gonna help you do that. So I was okay, if I do this, I can just use this money to wholesale. But the money started coming in. I'm okay, yeah, I'm gonna just do this.
This is gonna be the man.
Just go all in on it.
And
I had to learn when you're trying to do multiple things, you spread yourself thin. Not to say that you can't do multiple things, but I believe build one bridge, and then once that bridge is completely finished, then you go and build that next bridge.
Right.
You feel me? A lot of times we trying to build all these bridges at once, and then we ended up with 4 bridges that ain't even completed. And you could have had one bridge completely laid out, going back and forth. You ain't even got to touch it no more. Then you go build that next bridge, So that's what I'm trying to do right now. Absolutely.
And I believe that too, because once you have that system put down, then you can implement other systems. And like you said, to your point, lay a bridge that can be repeated, and then that can be scaled up.
And it's like, yeah, once you know how to build one bridge, you can build another bridge.
Absolutely.
But you trying to build all these bridges, you ain't even complete one yet.
Yeah.
You don't even know how to finish one. Show
And
yourself
yeah.
that confidence that you can lay one foundation.
I love that. I love that. So when you first started, who were the people that supported you and believed in your dream? How did that help or hurt you?
I mean, my dude, she was always in my corner. She didn't really believe, but she was there.
Love you, Mom.
Yeah, like she was telling me to go back to school to get my MBA and all that stuff. But she definitely supported once she saw that it was a real thing. She even became a notary herself.
Right.
She was like the first person to help me get that. Like I was getting so much business, I would just pass it to her. So she was like taking all my overflow. And then I started, doing a lot of mentorships with like successful business owners, getting in the room with other people who are striving for more. So that helped like cultivate their environment, the mindset, other people who are going through the same struggles. Cause your average person, if they not operating a business, they don't even understand like what it's like.
Yeah.
Especially in the beginning, when you're really trying to see if this is a thing that's going to work. It's a lot of doubt, fear, insecurity that you got to push through. So when you're in a room with other people who can understand that, it just makes it much better.
I love that, man. You surrounded yourself with like-minded individuals that help elevate and boost your dreams and what you're trying to accomplish. And how did you handle people that couldn't necessarily, make that mindset switch from athlete to businessman? And how do you handle those situations, those personalities?
Hey man, you got to cut them off, bro.
Yeah.
You got to cut them off, man. I'm 30 now. When I was 22, I was a whole different person, bro. I couldn't even hang around myself. Today, if I saw myself today, I can't hang around that guy because he gonna take me all off track, bro. He in the club, he's smoking, he drinking, he doing everything he not supposed to do. You feel me? So, and that's the environment I was in. Like my homies supported that, so I had to stop hanging around him, and it's brutal, but you got to do that, and that just goes back to like, if you really want it, you're going to do it.
Yeah. So
I knew I didn't want to be broke. I've been on a date, you can't pay the bill. You feel me? That ain't no good feeling.
Nah.
So nobody don't want to do that, so I want to put myself in a different position. So yeah, I had to get from around everything that did support the growth. Now, if my homies want to grow, hey, we locked in.
Right.
I got some homies that wanted to grow, so we still locked in. You still on that same old, man, we finna hit the club, we finna smoke, we finna drink, we finna stay up all night. I can't do that, bro.
Can't do it with you.
Nah, I feel me. Like I went to school in Tallahassee. I'm 30 now. I still got people left from my class still in Tallahassee.
That's crazy.
8 years, bro. We done graduated, bro. You still around there messing with them kids.
That's crazy.
You gotta leave that alone.
Gotta leave that alone, baby. Late night library is, you can't be going there no more. How did you handle, rejection, racism, discrimination? Because you're an imposing dude. You have a three-piece suit on. Sometimes I'll go to a happy hour and people give me shit because I have a three-piece suit on, but I'm just here to present myself. What I mean?
Yeah.
I'm trying to be professional, and that's how I want people to see me. But it's harder for us. Let me just say it, in a professional environment to be out there, especially in the beginning, maybe back in the day. How did you handle those situations? And what would be your advice to someone out there that's just trying to make that switch from, athlete to professional?
I say, man, you got to sharpen your saw. You got to sharpen your saw. You got to come with value. I think some of it is in our head too. Not to say it's not there, but some of it is in our head. Because if you bring value, it don't matter.
Right.
If I know that I can help you make more money, it don't matter. If you come in with a sharp saw and this person needs something cut, they don't care what color you are because you got the saw and I need this cut. If you're not coming with no value, then bro, you don't even need to be in the room anyways. So I would just say always lead with value. And if they're not rocking with you, then hey, it's abundance, man. You gotta find those people who will rock with you. For me, I got a lot of people who are of different color and different race that rock with me. Most of my business, like 99% of my business is from people who are not of the same race.
Right.
honestly, the people the same race don't be rocking with me.
Right.
I would think we would. I promise you. I talk about this all the time. I'm like, man, this should be my easiest sell.
Yeah.
And it's never not. It never is.
Right.
I feel like there's some mindset there, but like,
right.
You know, I would just say lead with value, man, and sharpen your saw. You know, if you come in the room and you don't got no value, then that's on you. That's not on that person.
Right. Keep pushing, get out of your head, and just lead with value. Something that's
learn how you can help someone.
Absolutely.
You know, because like a lot of times we want handouts. We want put me on, man. Put me on, man.
Right.
Put me in the game. Come on, bro. You know what I'm talking about. For real, that's how I be.
Man, that's tough.
That's how I be.
Man, what? In the beginning, what would you say was the hardest hurdle to get over in the very beginning? You know, is it finance? Is it personnel? Is it budget? Is it, breaking into new barriers in terms of people and markets? What would you say?
Or the hardest hurdle, rejection is hard.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, and that's just in general. Nobody likes rejection.
Right.
You know, so like you just got to learn how to get past that, man. Like, you got to embrace like being bad at things and just like, it's going to come, like it's going to come with time. Like, I'm not like, sometimes I'll do like, I do speaking engagements and I'm like, who are you to think that you're above being bad at something? You know, like you got to go through it. You know, like in order, like there's things that you're good at today that you probably were not that good at a couple of years ago. So you had to go through that period of time of being bad at it, so like just embrace the rejection and like, they say, what is it? Every no is one step closer to a yes.
It's 1000% a numbers game.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's a numbers game, and your numbers, you'll get better. The more no's you get, you're gonna get better, man. You just gonna get better, bro. You're gonna know how to handle situations. You're gonna know what people like, what they dislike, and you're gonna be able to evaluate like, okay, maybe they're not actually mad because of my skin, or maybe like I'm not giving them no energy. I learned how powerful energy is in sales, bro. That shit is like number one.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like number one. Like if I come in and I light the room up with energy, it's different. Come on, man. You can't come in. You gotta learn how to smile. You gotta learn how to
You can see a smile over the phone.
Yeah, you gotta learn how to do that though. Like even when it's not funny. Yeah. People like that lightens people up. Yeah. Like those are all the sales tactics that you got to learn how to do. You can't just come in a room and ask for something. You ain't even smile. You think they got a problem with you, but they just trying to figure out if you mad or not.
Right. Yeah.
You ain't even hit them with no smile.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I love that, man. I love that. That means everything. I started in phone sales, and real quick was, phone sales, you had, basically you call them the white pages. And if someone picked up the phone, that's your opportunity to make a sale, make something happen. Yeah. And every single time, if you were not smiling or even getting up out of your seat, people can feel your energy.
They can feel it through the phone, man.
So, man, that's like, put your energy into it. Make sure that one time you get someone on the phone is that opportunity to show your best.
You ever talk to somebody on the phone and like you could feel their attitude through the phone, like in a negative way. Yes. They may not even be upset, but they're not being intentional about transferring positive energy. These are sales things that you have to learn.
Yes.
So it's not that people don't like you or they're discriminating issues, that you don't know how to damn sell. Learn how to sell.
That's a fact.
That's what I'm saying. Like, do the work first, then talk about all the excuses later. Because if you do the work, the excuses may not even be there.
Man, that's a gem. We're going to clip that. That one's getting clipped up for sure. I remember the first video I saw you, man, that really resonated with me and it stood with me. And it was to the point where you were like, I want to make it not a thing to where you see a black man in a suit.
Oh, I said that?
It was to that
yeah, I did
point.
Say something like that.
Do you see yourself having a role of changing the perspective of black men in business?
Yeah, for sure. My goal is to empower the youth to be themselves.
Yeah.
While chasing money. Because I feel like as a black man and as a black child, the biggest thing is you think you got to sell out. You got to sell out.
Right.
You got to sharpen the saw. You got to get better. But you don't got to sell out. You feel me? I could still be me, but I need to be better than I was when I was 22. I couldn't even hold a conversation. 22, me sitting right here, man, I'm not saying all this, man.
Right.
You're gonna be trying to pull it up out me.
Yeah.
But I had to sharpen the saw, you know. So I feel like my thing is I want to show the youth, okay, you can still have dreads, you can be tatted, you can have your chain, you can have whatever, but you got to be good.
Right.
What you got to say. You feel me? And then you'll learn that a lot of stuff that you thought you wanted or that you thought you were into, you ain't really into that. You think you into designer, you ain't into that shit, man. Because you'll learn that Ralph Lauren is a man.
Right.
When you growing up, bro, you don't even think about that. I never thought about that. This is a man.
Right.
Tommy Hilfiger was a man.
Right.
I went to a convention. This man actually came out on stage. I'm like, oh, I didn't even know this was a person. You know, Christian Dior, all these are people. You know, so it's like, you'd be like, okay, well, why am I spending thousands of dollars? Because if he was sitting right here, I wouldn't spend it. It's the way he built that business.
Absolutely.
It's the marketing. It's the way they position themselves that it's like this. But if Christian Dior was sitting right here like, bro, give me $1,000 for my shoes, you're not gonna give it to him. You know, so yeah, I do feel like that's my thing, man. That's what I'm trying to do.
Let me ask you this. If you made it to the league,
Totally different.
Do you think you'd be better off?
No.
Outside of the, do you think you'd be better off now? And if not, what would you be missing?
Man, if I made it to the league, bro, there's just no telling. I was wild, bro.
Would you be here right now?
No, I don't think so. I mean, the bread, hope I would have had the right people in my corner.
Yeah.
To get me on track. I feel like I would have got on track. But it's just, man, when you're in the league, bro, that influence that you have, man, you know, I salute them boys who can stay strong. Like people like Mahomes, like, you know, even Hunter, you know, Shador, like the influence that they have on people and, you know, the hate they get, you know, they got to stay strong, you know, and the access of money and funds that they get at such a young age. I mean, especially nowadays, you got NIL. I mean, you got 18-year-olds making hundreds of thousands, if not millions.
Yeah.
You know, like, bro, at 18, man, you do not need to have that type of money, man. And if you do have that type of money, your circle got to be foundated, rock solid, because when you know what happened in the Black community when someone gets some money, everybody needs some. Feel me? Everybody got to They coming, you know, so they gonna leech on you and they gonna have problems and issues and they gonna drain you. But if your circle tight, that ain't gonna happen.
Right. That's good. What, in your opinion, is the key to growth in your business right now?
Key to growth?
Yeah.
I mean, marketing obviously is the most important thing. I think we need a good training system for bringing people on boarding, you know, to learn like our operations and how to schedule notaries and review scans, learn loan documents, all that good stuff. So marketing is obviously the most important thing. And as we continue to scale, we'll need more people to handle those operations. So I just need people who can train my employees so that either I don't have to do it or my operations manager, he doesn't have to sit there and do that because he's very critical to our success.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you handle, you know, self-doubt, you know, imposter syndrome? You know, does that ever creep into your mind? You seem like a very confident person, but was there ever a point where you felt like, man, you know, I don't know if I could do this?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, a lot of times you feel like that because you haven't done it.
How do you handle those thoughts? What do you do to help reinforce that ego, that confidence?
You got to stack some wins. You know, you got to stack some wins, and small wins count, bro. You know, stack some small wins, small victories. Don't discount those small victories. If you make a sale, hey man, pat yourself on the back. You know, you make a phone call and you get hung up on, pat yourself on the back. You made the damn call. You just got to keep stacking them, and then, you know, you'll get that confidence will come because you can look back and you see a track record of success or a track record of wins and even the failures that you can learn from. And, you know, like, hey, I'm not going to do that shit no more, you know, because I know that didn't work.
Absolutely.
You know, so yeah. I mean, do that, you know, put yourself in a good environment with people who are winning, you know, so you can learn from their mistakes, their wins, their victories, and just, you know, just keep stacking them, bro. Keep stacking them, bro.
I love that. Great answer. What does success mean to you right now? And is the answer the same as it was when you first started?
Nah, I feel like it can never stay the same, bro. I mean, I'm sure it'll be different 10 years from now.
Yeah.
Success for me right now, bro, is just, you know, I'd say getting to a point where finances is just not even like a question.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, man, everything's foundated, everything's taken care of. You know, now I can really find out what my what my purpose is, you know, pour into that, you know. So, you know, right now it's, you know, just foundating everything. I think one successful thing too is building something so big that it can impact other people's lives in a great way. You know, I want people to see like the business and be like, shit, I see where I can win. You know, I can come in this thing and I can contribute and I can have a payday. You know, that's like one of my major goals too. Like, I don't want it just to be so that I win. I want to be so everyone who's attached to the company, you know, they can win too. You know, like we're building our sales department. You know, we got a marketing department. You know, I want them to see like, okay, if we take it here, this is where I fit in. This is where I win. This is where my goals can be met and all of that.
Love that. What is there a pivot coming? You know, do you believe in a business's ability to pivot and or reinvent itself in order to stay up with the current trends, AI, technology, things of that nature?
It's like being a rapper, bro.
Yeah.
You feel me? You got to pivot, man.
Yeah.
You know, dude, rapper, you can't be on the same flow forever. That shit gonna get old.
Right.
You got to pivot. You know, I mean, AI's here. You got to pivot. How am I gonna put AI into my business to win? You got to have different products, different legs, different departments to your business, so that, you know, like if someone wants something else, maybe they don't want that product that you have. Maybe they need something else. I mean, look at Blockbuster. You know, Blockbuster did not pivot. They did not pivot. They were still trying to sell DVDs and whatever the other thing is you put in there. They trying to sell that, bro. Netflix come, hey man, we streaming everything. You want to be a part of this? Oh no, I mean, we're gonna keep it how it is. Keep it. Blew them out of the water. How many Blockbusters is there now? What, a couple?
They gone.
A handful.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, you got to pivot. I mean, they talking about ChatGPT may be trying to take Google out. You know, ChatGPT may be making some type of like Google thing. You know, so like nobody is so founded that they can't get taken out, man. You always got to be reinventing yourself, figuring out different ways that you can help people and grow the business out and structure it. So for us, I mean, it's like, you know, Ron is a thing. Ron is a very important piece to our business though. But I know that eventually, I believe that eventually closings will not ever be in person at some point in time. I don't think it's anywhere near, because you still got a whole older generation that can't even log on a computer and get an email.
That's a fact.
But I feel like eventually we will get to a point where a closing will not be in person, period. I don't think that's near though, but I think it'll happen. So, you know, I don't think I'll have to worry about that too much. But if someone, you know, was like, hey, I'm gonna start a signing service, do what I do, you know, you do got to keep that in the back of your mind that, you know, this thing could, at some point, there not even be a need for a notary in person,
right? Ever. That's something to think about for comfortable closings.
Yeah, for sure.
Not necessarily right now.
Not right now. No, right. I mean, Ron was a thought, but Ron actually ended up being a great thing for our business because we just contract work out to Ron notaries.
Now, just Ron, can you just clarify for the audience what Ron is?
Remote online notaries.
Okay.
So they do virtual online closings. They'll meet with the customer. Nothing's in person. Everything's notarized online. And that became a law in 2020.
Yeah.
In Florida, that was going to be allowed. You know, there was kind of like, oh, is this going to take in-person out? Is this going to kind of eliminate the need for companies like mine who find in-person notaries? But we just find raw notaries now for deals like that. You know, I say that to say that, yeah, you always want to be, you know, staying up to date, figuring out what's going on, because if not, you're just going to get left behind.
Absolutely, man. Got to stay on top.
AI is important too. Like, it makes your business way more efficient. You know, like I use AI in my business, you know, and ChatGPT has helped our business a lot. You know, it's quick, it's fast, it's not always accurate,
right?
But it gives you some infrastructure.
Don't be scared of it. Adapt to it.
Embrace it.
Yeah, embrace it.
Embrace it. If you embrace it, you'll be fine. I mean, I'd say like if you're an employee, like I think AI will eliminate bad employees. You know, if you're an employee, you always got an attitude, you don't want to do your job, AI is gonna take you out.
Right.
AI ain't gonna complain.
They're gonna give you none of that lip. They're just gonna do the job the right way.
It's not gonna do any of that. You know, it's just gonna do the job.
Facts. What are for the aspiring business owner right now, maybe a guy that's, you know, he's doing barbecue out of a trailer of his truck or out of his backyard, or, you know, he's got a gift. He does something very well, but he hasn't been able to scale it. What are three gems that you could give him to ensure success moving forward?
Yeah, the very first thing, you make a decision that you want to scale. So if you're doing ribs out, you know, in front of the yard on a shack, the very first thing you need to do is decide, hey, is this what I want? You know, and then once you make that decision, the second thing you're gonna have to learn is how to market. You know, so how do I get attention to the product? How do I get attention to these ribs? You know, how do I create an ad that is gonna drive attention, drive eyeballs to this? Social media, all of those things are ways to do that. You know, we all seen what is it? Next Friday after slap your mama tits. Those are marketing.
Absolutely.
You could recreate those things to drive attention to the product. So you make the decision, you learn how to market, and then I probably say, you know, make sure your team's solid. Decide what you want your culture to be, and don't bend that for nobody. Nobody.
Stay true to the brand, right?
Stay true to the brand. Have a standard.
I love
And
that.
do not let that damn standard drop for not even your mom. For real.
Love that. Love that. All right. Great expectations.
Let's go, man.
Calvin Darville, comfortable closings. Let's do Calvin Darville first, man. What great expectations can we expect?
Dude, we trying to build $100 million damn company here, bruh. I ain't gonna lie to you, bruh.
I love it.
Yeah.
I want a piece of that.
Yeah, shit. Come on, man. Send us
Put
a
me in
little.
now. Put me in now.
Send us a little. No, that's what we trying to do, man, for
Okay.
real. You know, that's my goal. People have done it. It's possible, you know. Hey, they say the goal got to be so crazy that people look at you crazy, right? So,
Absolutely.
shit, that's what we trying to do here.
So that's what comfortable closings, you're going to take them to the next level.
Yeah, that's the goal. We're trying to build $100 million.
$100 million company.
Yeah, we want to be number one in the industry for what we do. So,
That's what's up, man.
yeah.
What else do we have coming up? Anything that you want to promote?
Nah, I mean, just follow social media, comfortable closings, personal as well. We put a lot of stuff out on there. Calvin Darville, that's where we at.
That's right, man. Keep pushing. That's a wrap. Humble beginnings, great expectations. Calvin Darville, comfortable closings. Be on the lookout for them. Be ready to get them loans closed and signed. Thank you for your time. Bless. My man.
Good word, bro.
Appreciate it, brother.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.